In the quiet corners of our world, buried beneath layers of time, lie secrets so astonishing they challenge everything we thought we knew about human history. Civilizations lost to the sands, artifacts defying logic, and structures that seem impossibly advanced for their era. What if everything you believed about the past is only half the story? Tonight, we unravel mysteries that have baffled historians, archaeologists, and scientists for centuries, and some discoveries might be so shocking, you'll question reality itself. For centuries, humanity has sought to uncover the story of our past. From the crumbling ruins of ancient cities to the enigma of unbroken artifacts, each discovery is a puzzle piece, but some don't fit. Across deserts, jungles, and ocean floors, there are relics that challenge the very timeline of history. How were they made? Who made them? And why do they appear impossible even by today's standards? Tonight, we dive into the world of mind-blowing archaeological discoveries that no one can explain, revealing secrets that may rewrite history as we know it. Before we plunge into the unknown, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the mysteries we uncover next are too incredible to miss. Across the windswept deserts of Egypt, the lush jungles of South America, and the stony plains of Europe, lie monuments so colossal, so precise, and so mysterious that even the most advanced technology of today struggles to fully comprehend how they were built. These are the impossible structures of the ancient world, reminders of civilizations that may have known more than we dare to imagine. Let us begin with the most iconic of them all, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Rising almost 500 feet into the sky, it stood for thousands of years as the tallest structure on Earth. Its base covers more than 13 acres, and each of its sides is oriented almost perfectly toward the cardinal points of the compass. Even today, satellites confirm its alignment with an accuracy that modern surveyors would envy. But what makes it more baffling is the construction itself. Over 2 million blocks of stone, some weigh more than 70 tons, were somehow quarried, transported, and stacked with mathematical precision so exact that you couldn't fit a sheet of paper between them. No mortar, no cranes, no advanced machinery, yet it endures as a perfect geometric masterpiece. How could a civilization that supposedly relied on simple copper tools and manpower achieve such engineering wonders? But Egypt is only the beginning. Thousands of miles away, in the high plains of Bolivia, lies Pumapunku, a sight so baffling that even hardened archaeologists admit defeat in explaining it. Here, massive stone blocks, some weigh more than 100 tons, are cut with laser-like precision and interlocked with shapes so complex that modern stonemasons would struggle to replicate them. Their surfaces are flat, their angles are sharp, their patterns repeat with such perfection that it suggests the use of advanced tools. Yet Pumapunku dates back over 1,000 years before the Inca civilization, in a time when iron tools weren't even supposed to exist. How did they move these stones? How did they cut them? And who taught them the knowledge to do it? Then there's Stonehenge in England, a circle of massive megaliths, each weighing up to 25 tons, mysteriously transported from quarries nearly 200 miles away. The question that has puzzled scientists for centuries is not only how they moved such heavy stones across rivers and hills, but why. The arrangement aligns perfectly with the solstices, marking the longest and shortest days of the year. Was it a calendar, a temple, or something far stranger? Every midsummer, as the sun rises and aligns with the central altar stone, thousands gather to witness what our ancestors may have designed thousands of years ago. Yet the full purpose of Stonehenge remains locked in silence. Travel to Lebanon, and you will find Baalbek, a site where blocks of stone reach an almost incomprehensible scale. Among the ruins lies the so-called Stone of the Pregnant Woman, a single block estimated to weigh over 1,000 tons. That's heavier than the largest stone lifted by modern cranes today. And yet, somehow, the builders of Baalbek managed to not only quarry such stones but transport and position them. Were they using forgotten engineering techniques, or did they have knowledge of forces we no longer understand? The mystery grows deeper when we realize that many of these ancient structures were built in alignment with celestial bodies. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not only aligned with the compass points, but also mirrors the constellation of Orion's belt. At Teotihuacan in Mexico, the Pyramid of the Sun and its neighboring structures are laid out in a grid pattern that corresponds to astronomical cycles, hinting at a cosmic blueprint far more advanced than what we thought was possible. Even Angkor Wat in Cambodia reveals alignments with the stars, its towers echoing the movements of the heavens. What makes these alignments so perplexing is the sheer consistency across continents. Civilizations that, by all accounts, never met, shared a fascination with the cosmos, embedding their knowledge into stone monuments that still stand today. Was this simply a universal human instinct, or evidence of a lost, shared knowledge passed down through forgotten ages? Modern technology has allowed us to examine these structures in new ways. High-resolution satellite scans, 3D laser mapping, and geological studies reveal patterns and techniques we are only beginning to decode. But the closer we look, the stranger the story becomes. Some stones appear to have been poured or molded, as if ancient builders understood a kind of concrete technology. Others show drilling patterns far too precise for the primitive tools attributed to their time. For some, the answer lies in ingenuity, that ancient engineers mastered techniques now forgotten to us. For others, the explanation borders on the extraordinary, lost civilizations with advanced technology, survivors of a pre-cataclysmic world, or even outside intervention. The debate continues, but what cannot be denied is this: these structures were not random. They were deliberate, intentional, and constructed with knowledge that challenges the boundaries of our current historical timeline. Standing before these monuments today, one feels the weight of their mystery. Each stone whispers of an intelligence that refuses to be dismissed. They were built to last, to endure storms, earthquakes, and time itself. Thousands of years later, they still tower over us, unbroken, unyielding, and unanswered. Perhaps that was their purpose all along, to leave behind a puzzle that would outlive civilizations, to remind us that the story of humanity is far more complex than we can imagine. And as long as these impossible structures remain, so too will the question: what did our ancestors truly know, and what secrets of the earth did they hide in plain sight? If the massive stone monuments of the ancient world leave us in awe, then the small artifacts scattered across continents push our imagination even further. These are not merely relics of everyday life. They are objects that should not exist. Creations so advanced, so mysterious, that they rewrite everything we thought we knew about the timeline of human knowledge. They are the puzzle pieces that don't fit, the artifact that science cannot easily explain. Perhaps the most famous of these enigmas is the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered by divers in 1901 among the remains of a shipwreck off the coast of a small Greek island, it looked at first like a corroded lump of bronze. But beneath centuries of rust lay an invention so advanced it shocked the world. Inside the device are dozens of gears and wheels, intricately arranged to predict astronomical events. Scholars now agree it was capable of calculating eclipses, tracking planetary positions, and even forecasting Olympic game cycles. In essence, it is the world's first known analog computer. Yet it dates back to over 2,000 years ago, a time when such engineering should have been impossible. No other device of similar complexity appears again until nearly 1,500 years later. How did the ancients create this? Was it the genius of a forgotten inventor, or a surviving clue to a lost tradition of technology? But the Antikythera mechanism is far from the only anomaly. In Iraq, among the remnants of ancient Mesopotamia, archaeologists uncovered what has been dubbed the Baghdad Battery. At first glance, it is nothing more than a clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. Yet when filled with vinegar or grape juice, it produces a measurable electric charge. If this interpretation is correct, it means that people living nearly 2,000 years ago may have harnessed electricity long before Benjamin Franklin ever flew a kite. The true purpose of the Baghdad Battery remains debated. Was it used for electroplating gold, medical therapy, or simply a container for sacred rituals? The fact that it even exists poses a tantalizing possibility that ancient people may have dabbled with forces we assume were only discovered in modern times. Then there are the crystal skulls, legendary artifacts said to be carved from single pieces of quartz with unexplainable precision. Dozens of these skulls have been found in Mexico and Central America, often linked to ancient Mesoamerican civilizations. What makes them so confounding is the craftsmanship. Quartz is incredibly difficult to carve, even with today's diamond-coated tools, yet these skulls show smooth surfaces, symmetrical features, and in some cases, optical effects when light passes through them. Skeptics argue many were forgeries made in later centuries, but some specimens continue to defy easy explanation. Beyond their physical mystery, they carry legends. Some say the skulls emit strange energies or hold secrets of human consciousness. Were they ritual objects, symbols of power, or remnants of an even deeper knowledge we have yet to uncover? The list of strange artifacts grows longer the deeper we look. In Russia, tiny spiral-shaped objects, some less than a millimeter in size, were unearthed in the Ural Mountains. Dating back thousands of years, these spirals appear to be made of tungsten and molybdenum, metals that require extremely high temperatures to work with. Their microscopic precision resembles modern nanotechnology, yet they were found in geological layers far older than human civilization is supposed to be. Are they evidence of an unknown advanced culture, or simply natural formations misinterpreted by the human eye? And then there are the maps. One of the most famous is a Piri Reis map, drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral. What makes it extraordinary is not only its accuracy of the South American coast, a feat impressive for the time, but also its inclusion of Antarctica. Antarctica, officially discovered centuries later, is shown on the map without ice, revealing its coastline as if drawn from an aerial survey. How could a 16th century mapmaker possess knowledge that should have been impossible to obtain? Some claim he had access to much older charts, perhaps copied from a civilization long forgotten. Similarly, the London hammer, discovered in Texas in the 1930s, presents another riddle. Encased in rock estimated by some geologists to be hundreds of millions of years old, it appears to be a hammer with a wooden handle and iron head. If authentic, it suggests that an advanced tool existed in a time when humans were not even supposed to exist. Critics argue the dating of the rock may not correspond to the hammer itself, but the mere possibility stretches the imagination. Even everyday objects can challenge belief. In 1974, Chinese farmers uncovered the terracotta army, thousands of clay soldiers buried with China's first emperor. While not an unexplained artifact in itself, what shocked researchers was the discovery of chromium plating on the bronze weapons, an anti-rust technology not rediscovered until the 20th century. For nearly 2,000 years, the swords, spears, and arrowhead remained untarnished, preserved by a chemical technique no one thought ancient China had mastered. All these artifacts, whether misunderstood relics, anomalies of nature, or glimpses of forgotten knowledge, carry the same message. The past is not as straightforward as we imagine. Each one challenges a neat narrative of human progress, suggesting instead that history may be cyclical, filled with bursts of brilliance followed by long periods of forgetting. Perhaps civilizations have risen and fallen many times, leaving behind fragments of their genius for us to puzzle over. And maybe, just maybe, these objects are more than mistakes of archaeology. They may be clues. Clues that point toward a story of humanity far older, far stranger, and far more advanced than our textbooks allow. They sit in museum cases, buried in storage rooms, or locked away in private collections, silent, enigmatic, and powerful. And as long as they remain unexplained, they continue to whisper the same question. What did the ancients truly know, and what knowledge have we lost forever? When we think of history, we imagine a straight line, a timeline moving from primitive beginnings toward modern complexity. But what if that timeline isn't straight at all? What if humanity has risen, fallen, and been reborn countless times, leaving only fragments of its past behind? Across the world, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of civilization so advanced, so enigmatic, that their sudden disappearance defies explanation. These are the lost worlds of human history, the vanished cultures whose secrets remain hidden in stone, beneath the sea, and in myth that may be more truth than legend. One of the greatest mysteries lies in the Indus Valley Civilization, a society that thrived nearly 5,000 years ago in what is now Pakistan and northwestern India. At its height, it housed more than 5 million people, living in cities laid out with astonishing precision. Streets ran in perfect grids, lined with brick houses equipped with advanced drainage systems and even indoor plumbing, luxuries many societies would not see again for centuries. Yet despite their brilliance, the Indus people vanished. Their writing system remains undeciphered, their downfall unexplained. Did climate change destroy their agriculture? Did invaders wipe them out? Or was it something more elusive, an internal collapse of a civilization far ahead of its time? Their silent cities whisper of a culture that mastered urban planning, only to vanish without leaving us a clear record of who they truly were. Across the ocean, the Maya of Central America left behind sprawling cities of stone, their pyramids rising above the jungle canopy like sentinels of forgotten age. The Maya understood astronomy with uncanny accuracy, predicting solar eclipses and planetary movements. Their calendar, often sensationalized as predicting the end of the world, demonstrated a complex understanding of time cycles. Yet, like the Indus, the Maya collapsed suddenly. By the 9th century, great cities like Tikal and Copan lay abandoned. Starvation, warfare, drought. Archaeologists offer many explanations, but none fully capture the mystery of how such a powerful culture could unravel so swiftly. And then there are the stories of civilizations that might predate even recorded history. In the coastal waters of India lies the submerged city of Dwarka. Long dismissed as mere legend from Hindu epics, modern underwater explorations have uncovered stone structures, streets, and walls preserved beneath the sea. Radiocarbon dating suggests these ruins could be more than 9,000 years old, long before Egypt or Mesopotamia rose. If true, Dwarka may be evidence that our ancestors built great cities earlier than anyone imagined. Was it swept away by rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age, leaving only myth behind? Far out in the Pacific, the remote island of Rapa Nui, better known as Easter Island, guards one of the most puzzling mysteries of all. Hundreds of colossal stone statues, the moai, stare out to sea, their expressions frozen in time. Some stand over 30 feet tall, weigh more than 80 tons. How did the islanders, with limited resources, carve and transport such giants across rugged terrain? And why? Theories suggest ancestor worship, tribal competition, or even astronomical alignment. Yet the deeper mystery is what happened to the people themselves. Once a thriving society, the population collapsed, leaving ruins, toppled statues, and unanswered questions. Then there's Petra, the fabled rose-red city of the Nabateans, carved directly into the cliffs of Jordan. Its ornate facades and sophisticated water systems reveal a people who mastered desert survival, channeling scarce rainfall into reservoirs and fountains. For centuries, Petra thrived as a hub of trade, only to be abandoned and forgotten until rediscovered in the 19th century. Why did its people vanish? Was it invasion, earthquakes, or did the shifting sands of history simply bury them from memory? But perhaps the most haunting discoveries lie beneath the seas. Off the coast of Japan, the Yonaguni Monument rises from the ocean floor, a series of massive stone terraces, steps, and walls that resemble the remains of a sunken city. While some argue it is a natural rock formation, others insist the precision of its angles and structures points to human hands. If so, it could date back over 10,000 years, to a time when sea levels were far lower. Could it be a remnant of a civilization erased by rising oceans, leaving behind only a submerged memory? Even myths themselves may hold clues. The tale of Atlantis, described by Plato as a powerful civilization that sank beneath the sea, has long been dismissed as legend. Yet the more ruins we uncover beneath the waves, in the Mediterranean, the Caribbean, and the Indian Ocean, the more the line between myth and history blurs. Were these stories passed down from survivors of ancient cataclysms? Did they encode real memories of civilizations destroyed by floods, earthquakes, or cosmic events we no longer remember? The truth is, lost civilizations are not just about vanished cities and crumbled stone. They are about hidden knowledge. How did the Maya track the stars with such accuracy? How did the Indus create perfect sanitation systems? How did islanders move moai statues without wheels or beasts of burden? And why do so many of these cultures share myths of floods, God descending from the sky, or cycles of destruction and rebirth? Could it be that humanity's story is not one of simple linear progress, but of cycles, where greatness rises, falls, and rises again? As we stand among the ruins, one cannot escape the feeling that we are staring into a mirror of our own future. Civilizations, no matter how powerful, are fragile. They can vanish, leaving behind only stone, legend, and questions. And maybe, hidden in the silence of Petra, the jungles of the Maya, or the waters of Dwarka, lies a warning that what has happened before could happen again. As we peel back the layers of time, one truth becomes clear. The past is not always what it seems. And just when we think we've uncovered all its secrets, another astonishing discovery awaits, ready to rewrite history once again.